This is where the fun begins. This is where the fun begins. This is where the fun. This is where the fun. This is where the fun begins.
Who's the big guy with the muscles?
This is where the fun begins.
Who's the big guy with the muscles?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Toy Anxiety. It's Tuesday night. It's 9:30 p.m. and we are live. A couple of people were asking, was this a pre-tape? Were we preempted? Was the Westminster Dog Show on instead of us? Not tonight, I say. Never. We are live. Thank you, everybody. Welcome, Ryan Dole, back to the show. You said you were gone a week, but it's been 2 weeks. Has it not?
No, it hasn't. It's been a week.
Oh. Well,
It just feels like 2 weeks when I'm gone.
It felt like forever.
Forever.
Welcome back. Thanks, everybody, for being here. In just a few short moments, we are going to bring on Pat and Emily from the HasLab team to talk about the Ecto 1 HasLab. Super excited to have them on the show for the first time. We will get to them in just a few minutes. I did want to go ahead and say hi to the chat in just a second. But first, let me go ahead and officially introduce all my co-hosts, all the way from Vancouver, British Columbia, back from, 2 straight weeks of Halloween.
2 weeks of when Halloween was forever in 2 weeks.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, in Toronto. It was fantastic.
Well, now I know you did multiple costumes. I haven't seen a lot of pictures. Did you
I only did 2 costumes, and I didn't even make anything new. It's all I just didn't have the time or the energy.
Okay. All right. Did you have fun though?
Oh, I had so much fun.
Okay, good. Well, let's go ahead and introduce the other hosts. I'm acting like I've never done this before. Okay, let me look at my notes. Okay, introduce other hosts. Abigail Gardner, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. Yeah, kind of a big day here for Toy Anxiety. I'm very excited to talk to our guests, and yeah, life's good. I'm glad that we are all here and having fun together.
Thank you. Okay, cool. Just like we rehearsed. Are those new cats over there?
Yeah, there's some new cats. Those are my pickups. I'll show them at some point.
Craig's just like, why are you acting like we could see the cats?
No, but like I didn't.
They're asleep.
Whoa!
Right now.
Look at those new cats, Abby.
Look at those new cats. Where did you get those?
Show me your kitties.
Okay. Jacob Walsh, how are you?
I guess I'm the only one wearing the HasLab shirt.
I'm wearing
mine.
Pulse. Give me a break here.
Oh man,
I'm wearing
yeah.
Ghostbusters. I didn't get a shirt because they don't like me.
No, we sent you one,
no.
Ryan. It's on the way.
Like, yeah, it's in the mail.
Everything
Wait,
takes
hold on a
longer
second.
to get
Did
to
Craig
Canada.
send it? So I'll get it probably next
Yes.
year sometime when the HasLab
coming.
arrives.
That's
Yeah.
so funny.
That's going to be the race. Will I get the shirt first or the HasLab?
Well, we can listen. You're gonna get the HasLab before you get the shirt. Let's just face it.
Yep.
We're gonna be honest.
Okay, so with this, what we're gonna do, guys, we're gonna do a little bit of a flipped show. Ryan, I know you got a lot of pickups and stuff, but we don't want to make our guests wait. So this is the next thing that's going to happen. I'm gonna say hi to the chat. Then we're gonna bring Pat and Emily on, and we're gonna all talk about Ecto 1. I'm super excited about it. I'm super excited about the HasLab. I haven't refreshed the page in like an hour. It's the longest I've gone since the campaign is launched. So we're going to say out of the chat very quickly and get to our guests. Let's do this, and then we'll get to our super chats as well. Jessica Parker, With All Faults, Skylar Davis, Toy Collector Magazine is here. Jason Grohowski, Mr. Michael T, McFly Toys, Joe O'Toole with the super chat. First time catching alive, save me from everything. Yes, tonight we alternative programming. That's what we call this. The Ryan Dole fan club is here. Quip is here. Emperor Antonio of Seatopia is here. Stephen Lawrence, Davey Sock Rocker. Did Abby get a haircut? Abby?
Yeah, I did. Thank you.
There you go. Johnny Cock is here. David Allman, Topher Khan, Young Hummus. Lots of people. Dora Laxon, Riley Bob, Video Power Gaming, Literally Action Figures. Ray Cameron in the house.
Hey,
A rare
Hey,
appearance.
what's up, Ray?
there he
Adam
is.
is here. Adam says he met Pat this weekend. That's great. Josh MK, AJ Quick, McFly Toys, Derek.
Thanks, AJ.
Dalzell, Patrick Gerard, Matt Bush with the Dole, Brock Parker, Jace, Collector Phil, and so on and so on. Guys, normally I would get everybody, but I can't make our guests wait another second longer.
I can't wait.
You know them as part of the HasLab team on the Ghostbusters team. You know them as integral parts of what makes Hasbro go around. It's been a long time coming. Let's introduce our guests. First off, Emily, hello.
Hey guys.
Hey,
Thank
Hi.
you for listening to us.
Finally on this show. I feel like this is like taking way too long. Even before Ghostbusters, you should have
I
been
know.
on the show like 2-3 years ago.
Well, thank you for finally inviting me, I suppose.
I blame Craig.
You guys will learn I take the blame for almost everything, even if
That's-
it's not my fault. It's
That's
okay.
fair.
Yeah. So and then joining as well, Pat and Emily. Hello, Pat. How are you?
Guys.
Whoa, look at that shirt.
Oh, this is nice.
That's amazing.
That is
My-
amazing.
Yeah, I sell these on Etsy. They're $50.
And are there stretch goals?
No stretch goals.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
I handle
no
it-
early
handle it
birds
like
either.
Baby shampoo.
There you
No
go.
more
Nice.
tears.
So listen, guys, here's the deal. We have been covering this HasLab very closely for the last couple weeks. You guys know it. You've seen it. We don't need to sell you guys on how amazing it is. But what I wanted to kind of do tonight is get into the details a little bit, look a little bit behind the scenes, and also just like get to know Pat and Emily as well as human beings and not just Ghostbusters marketing geniuses. Emily, I want to start with you real quick because we were going to do this last week. We got pushed back, but you were in London. How did London Comic Con go, and what was the reaction to the ecto?
It was great. It was a very long week. I'm really glad that I was able to go. The reaction to the ecto was great. I feel like the general I can't see Pat on video. Can
Sounds
anybody
like
else?
the chat
every-
saying the same thing, Emily.
Okay.
I can
Weird.
see mine.
I can see Pat.
Pat, what'd
So
you
can
do?
I.
He's like John
Oh,
Cena.
now I can see you.
I'm just gonna not move.
Oh, weird. He might. I don't know. But if we could see him, great.
Okay. Well, I mean, I
We're
can see
good.
him now. So
Can you guys see him?
we'll find out.
I'll take a look at the YouTube link to see what everybody else
They
is.
they said they can see him now.
Perfect.
Great.
I'm a ghost.
Perfect.
Cool.
Okay.
My
Precious
shirt
of
is
you.
not as great as Pat's shirt, but this is in honor of your new cats. I
Oh,
didn't
I
have
was
enough
gonna
letters
say.
to say yay
Your
cats.
shirt's better.
So we're a formal hooray for cats tonight.
Yeah.
That's
is
what we're
great.
celebrating.
I
That's
love
what
that.
we're here to celebrate.
Priorities. Oh, London Comic Con. Shit. Sorry. So London Comic Con was great. The general sentiment every time that anybody sees the Ectomobile models is that they're way bigger than people were thinking that they are. Because
Yeah.
there's even when you see them in pictures and you see them like in scale with plasma series figures, it's still hard to kind of imagine how big they are. But people were excited. Eric from Ghost Corps swung by and said hi and said that he liked the way that the models looked, which was great because he had previously approved them by just seeing pictures of them on the internet. So
That's a big win. That's great.
yeah, it was a big win. So I will say London Comic Con officially a success.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
I actually had a quick back and forth with Eric too, and I'm really, for people who are seeing it in person for the first time, I just want to know their reaction, and it's like across the board, the reaction is just, this thing is it's so amazing. It's so much better than it has any business being for a toy. So just huge shout out to you guys for making this happen.
Well, thank you for the compliments. The team has worked incredibly hard on this. And so I think that Pat and I both feel super privileged to get to kind of represent the team and talk about all of the things that everybody has been working on. Cause we've been doing this for like, how long have we been working on this already? Like a year.
I don't
So
know.
it's just really exciting that we don't have to keep it a
It's
secret
like-
anymore.
It's my entire short-term memory, I think, is this project.
Oh my
there's
gosh.
So much rattling around in my brain.
So yeah, Pat, you've been working on this for a long time. I know, like, you are also like a true diehard Ghostbusters fan. You have been very passionate about this. You have ensured, like, both of you just working with like the community, working with the ecto tech team to ensure the accuracy. Like, so what's it been like for you to like see this from idea phase to now we're well into the HasLab campaign, almost at 9,000 backers with a whole month to go. Like, what do you, I know your real answer. You're very nervous. You're very stressed out, but what is your like, what is like the Ghostbusters fan answer?
The Ghostbusters fan answer is like the last 2 years have been like a dream come true. So I've been at Hasbro for 6 years, somewhere around 6 or 7 years. And like I started working on board games, and when I got there, the VP at the time sat me down. He was like, "Well, what do you want to do while you're here?" And I was like, "Ghostbusters." And he was like, "No." Right off. Yeah, he was like, we don't have the license. No, it's not going to be a thing. And then when we finally got it back, I fought like hell to get put back, like to get put on the brand. And then it's been so cool. And I got to meet so many cool people from doing it, like being able to talk to you guys, Greg and the Ectotech team, even Nick, the guy that runs the firehouse, like he's cool. Like everybody's been so overwhelmingly cool.
You guys were with Ernie Hudson the other day, were you not?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that was bananas. Like I think 5-year-old me and 38-year-old me are having the same internal freak out.
Yeah. 100%. I get it.
Yeah, no, it was wild.
What was that? Were you that was at Rhode Island Comic Con? Were you guys filming something?
Yeah, we had to kind of go about everything in utter secrecy, but they led us into a back room and they were like, "Okay, set up your models. So somebody's gonna go get Ernie. They're gonna bring him in. You only have him for like 10 minutes." And he stayed for like 15, and he was so nice and like just the most even-keeled, like measured man I've ever met. He was just, he could have been exhausted because it was the third day of a very long convention, but he was so cool to just like get to talk to in that, like, it was very informal. He just came in and immediately started talking about the two cars and his experiences with the two cars and stuff, which was really cool.
He's awesome. He's the best.
He's a cool dude.
He's the best. So let's real quick. We got to bring up Tully. Maybe that's a good starting place. So Emily, the big announcement was made on Halloween. The decision to give kind of as a gift to everybody who's backing the HasLab, the Lewis Tully figure, which we've all seen this in person. Like Abby, you've been raving about this Lewis Tully.
Yeah. The face in particular, the expression, like it's so accurate, and so evocative of all the things that you love about Tully. It's like it has like almost a cartoon-esque quality to it, but like still captures the face. And like Jacob says, it doesn't look like you just like printed out the actor?
Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis' face on there. It looks like
We'll cut that, Abby. We'll cut the fact that you forgot his name.
I know Rick Moranis.
What's his? I know Rick Moranis.
I know him. I know Rick
He's
Moranis.
out there. He's shrinking
He
kids.
didn't send in a photo, and they didn't do a selfie series for Rick Moranis.
So Emily, what was the decision to what led to the decision to make this available to everybody instead of doing the early bird?
I think that part of it was we knew when we saw this figure that this was going to be a winner and that everybody was going to be really excited. I've looked at a whole lot of action figures in my time at Hasbro, but I think that the sculpt on Tully is probably one of my favorites. I love figures that don't just have neutral face expressions. And so to me, being able to capture that moment from the movie and his face from the movie is just delightful. But I think we didn't quite realize exactly how positive the reaction would be to Tully. And everybody commented on this figure when they would see the models.
Right.
And so I think that level of excitement there, we wanted to do something that was, a little bit special for the campaign. We've been saying that, this isn't a regular HasLab campaign because there haven't been new Plasma series figures for so long. And so the rules are have been a little bit different on this campaign. So, right, there's no unlock tiers because we're giving you everything because we don't want you to have to wait because you've been waiting for so long for things. And so I think that kind of same mentality went through our minds for Tully, is that we didn't want people to have to wait to see if they were going to get him. We just wanted you to know that he was going to come with the offer.
Yeah, that was a good thing.
Took
to
some
do.
stress away from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Me too.
I was going to highlight David Backrocker. Tully's pouty face is perfect, and that's really what it is. It's like
Yeah.
it's in those cheeks and like the furrowedness of the brow. Like y'all just nailed it. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely takes some stress away. And then I guess while we're here, we should maybe just kind of all have a live look at where we are. And I don't know, from either one of you are welcome to chime in, but like, you know, the campaign lasts, you know, the time that it lasts, right? So we have 27 days. We're whatever, not quite 2 weeks in. We're almost at 9,000. It's track. If you look at the Brian Brink charts, it is tracking ahead of where the Proton Pack was. I know there's some differences in what the Proton Pack numbers were for funding and stuff, but I mean, are you guys happy with the rollout so far? Would you say it's doing what you thought it would do, or maybe even a little better?
Yeah, I think we're happy.
That was a good rollout pun. I was still like, I was hung up on the, are you happy with the rollout?
Are you happy with the rollout? It does roll.
He did that on accident. He didn't. There's
No,
way
it was
he-
like totally planned. I mean, or is it the other thing is like it's just pins and needles until it's funded, and then we can all, you know.
I think I'm less anxious about it than Pat is.
I'm anxious about a lot of things.
I mean, that's fair. But I mean, to me, like this is a good trajectory. We are following where the Proton Pack was, and so to me, like this is a no-brainer. Like this is absolutely going to fund. Now it's just seeing kind of how far and above our funding goal will end up at the end of the campaign. And I think that you have to go into. It's weird with HasLabs because they are unlike when you're just doing regular items, the success or the failure of a HasLab campaign is incredibly public, right? There's no hiding from how this campaign is doing because it is performing in real time in front of everybody. And you are all going to know if like we are doing something to like artificially inflate the numbers on the back end, which we wouldn't, but like, if you saw the numbers jump in a really unrealistic way, you know, that HasLab chart would reflect that. And you'd be like, well, that's really weird. Or if there was, you know, if something else happened, you'd be able to kind of track it. And so there is a little bit more anxiety around HasLabs than regular items, because regular items are a little bit easier to like hide behind if something goes wrong. But this is a real public one. And especially because there hasn't been anything in this line for fans for a while. I think there's a lot of attention on it, and both internally and externally, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but everybody has just been so lovely about it and are just so excited about the car. And so I view it as a win. Pat, I don't know if you would like to disagree with anything I've just said though.
I don't like to count my chickens until they hatch. But I'm nervous because I want it. So for the last right for the last 2 years that I've been on the brand, I'm just pushing for things that I want. And like
that's such a toy anxiety answer.
As you should, right?
Like I just like I want this, so I want to buy it. So I'm very hopeful. I think it looks great. You know, there are a few things that like people tend to forget. HasLab campaigns are done twice. So you do all the designing to get to the launch date, you launch it, and then when it funds, you have to figure out all the things that you wanted to put in it that you made for the prototype. Right. So like development is kind of done twice. So the light sequences aren't final. Anything you're seeing in those light sequences, the videos, they're not final. They're just, we made them to get to the launch so we can refine them for the next year before you guys get these in your hands. So like very early prototypes, very early everything. And like this is where it's important to both like back and comment. Like I read the comments. I read the nice ones, the informative ones, the sad ones. I read all of them. And yeah, it's, I was texting with the Ecto Tech guys today just to really make sure that we can get together in the next couple weeks and hone in on those light sequences and make sure, I think I asked Kip to send me send me a list, make a list, send it to me, and I will try and hit every single thing that I can on that list.
Yeah, and that's why we did source some questions from like the Discord and stuff. And I just want to make that blanket statement and kind of reinforce what Pat said. Like things like lighting sequences and sound and like minor nitpick inaccuracies on the prototype. It's like I promise you they are being looked at, they are being addressed, and the people consulting on that, Greg and Nick and all them, they know. I don't want to say they know more.
You're being so diplomatic.
They just know.
Greg's trying to say, "Chill out, we got it."
Yeah. We collectively, the six of us.
Just we.
Hey, listen. We'll do some questions from the chat. It does not need to be a super chat to highlight your question, but doesn't hurt. So from Chris,
Craig, stop. Don't say
Yeah,
that.
like, what are you doing? You're acting so weird tonight.
I'm trying to be kind to our guests. Chris asked, and this is a good question because it's come up. Will there be different box art for the base and the deluxe? And once this funds, we need RGB cartoon accurate ecto. Just saying. Okay, so I actually think that's a really good question because I've seen that go around. So as far as the deluxe offering and the standard, will there be like a packaging difference that's noticeable?
So, great question. Sometimes I step in with my marketing answer before I let Pat give his, what we will say, slightly more honest, less filtered answer.
I love
it. So since the time of the Proton Pack HasLabs, there have been a lot of packaging standardizations that HasLabs have gone through. So that's one of the things that you'll see reflected when everybody gets their 2 in the boxes, or if you watched Adam Savage's recent unboxing video for 2 in the box. So now and like full transparency, if you are judging HasLab packaging on the Proton Pack box, that is by far the most complicated package we have ever done at Hasbro, and no other HasLab box ever looked like that.
I didn't make that one.
Yeah,
that was me.
It is beautiful, and the team who worked on that worked so hard, but none of the other boxes look like that. So we've done a lot of standardization and kind of modularizing. That's a new word I just made up, of HasLab packaging, specifically because we really want to make sure that you guys are paying to fund these projects. We want to make sure that they're getting to you in as pristine of condition as humanly possible. And so now what you'll see with 2 in the box and projects moving forward is there is kind of a prettier outside box. And then inside there are kind of these brown cardboard interior boxes that have lots of egg cartons in them. Ah, look, he's got a sample. That have egg cartons inside of them where everything is packed really nicely to make sure that everything gets to you in as good of shape as possible. Then that pretty outside box is inside of a regular cardboard box. Then that cardboard box has corner protectors on it. And then that is inside of another cardboard box. Okay. So we really want to make sure that those are showing up in as good of condition as possible. I believe the way that we are going to be doing the base versus the deluxe is similar to how the Star Wars Cantina is doing their boxes, but the base version will be in the pretty retail box. And then if you get the deluxe, it will be an additional one of those brown inserts that comes in your box too. So that you get like an additional piece, so all the bases will match. And then if you get the deluxe, it just comes with an extra box.
Perfect.
Cool.
I think
it was such a long, mine was just, we don't start packaging on this till like next week.
Oh, there we go. Sorry.
So I think it was funny because the other day when we were all it was like 2 weeks ago when we were in New York, and I was with you guys and I said, does anybody know my actual job? And everybody said no. The package design, the graphic design, all the pretty pictures, that's all me. So I'm the graphic designer. I'll be making the box that you'll be getting. So
cool.
Play your cards right.
Yeah. Or if you don't play your cards right, it's just gonna be a brown box.
Yep.
That's it. Everybody gets a brown box with nothing.
One
on it.
color on craft paper.
Here's another one.
Isn't that what? I think Unicron was that basically.
Yeah.
It was so big that they were just like, whatever.
I'm
brown paper
okay
box
with
with one
that.
color printing.
I'm okay with that. I don't want to have to like. I feel two ways about packaging. I love it, and I have a bunch of boxes here, but then also I have a bunch of boxes here.
Right.
I don't have room for a bunch of boxes.
No, my goal is to make you feel bad about throwing it away.
You're
That's-
good.
Yeah.
I do all the time.
I like to
always
save
do.
them. Keep doing that.
I think the other thing to note on packaging for this item, if you haven't heard this from any of the interviews that we've been doing, is the base offering now comes with 3 figures. The deluxe offering comes with 7 figures. We made the decision as a team that none of those figures will come in full packaging. So essentially, there were so many figures that we were including that by saying none of those figures will be in full packaging, we were able to give you an extra figure. And that's how Tully got added to the offering.
That's amazing.
So everybody will be tissue wrapped. So they will be very nicely packed out. So they will arrive safely. But you should feel no guilt about opening them and actually displaying them alongside your ectomobiles.
Ooh, shots fired to the Star Wars team.
No,
shots
fired.
We have lots of different collectors who have lots of different preferences. And I come from other HasLabs where, G.I. Joe HasLabs, everybody's in full packaging and we're real jerks about it because we number them in line with the rest of the classified series sequence.
Right?
So
That's so mean.
Yeah, sorry.
Or at least pack 2 figures. Do what Disney did.
I want you to
Starspeeder.
do whatever's going to annoy the most people. That's
Like,
I want
no,
a sad comment.
locking
You need
figure number
comments, right?
100 in classified series behind a HasLab. That I admit that was me. That was a me choice. Sorry.
And we ate well during sad comments that week.
Yeah.
Brian Brink, this is another good question. So Brian is an amazing I call him a expert level statistician, but I don't actually know what he does. I think he just likes making charts. So he makes these amazing HasLab trackers that are full of really great data, compare the different HasLabs. So his question is, do the charts have any influence on how campaigns are constructed? Early bird, stretch goals, time frames. I think he's maybe caught wind that this is a useful tool to a marketing team rolling out a project like this. So, yeah, Brian, what do we do with his charts once they get to Rhode Island?
So we'll start by saying, Brian, thank you so much for making these charts. They save us so much time.
Yes.
They are incredibly helpful. And quite frankly, instead of going to the Hasbro Pulse team to ask for data, we just reference your charts.
I love
they
that. Brian Brink Pulse.
it is the data is presented so clearly and it is so helpful, and yes, they are referenced frequently, and so that it like I usually my Google whenever I'm like HasLab chart, it's like, do you just want to pull up this tab that still has your HasLab charts open? I'm like, yes I do. So thank you for taking the time to make those. We really, really appreciate them. And it is actually incredibly helpful for the teams to be able to see the campaigns all laid out next to each other and to be able to kind of make those comparisons. And I think as we are looking at campaign structures, they are incredibly helpful just to be able to compare and contrast and say like, okay, here's where we've been. This is kind of where we're thinking. How does this chart with, because this, like your chart is the reason why we know we are tracking at roughly proton pack numbers for this campaign, because otherwise it'll be like, what did the proton pack do each day?
That was so long ago.
Yeah, it was so long ago. We don't remember any of this. So I will say that thank you for taking the time to do this. This is super helpful across all of the brands that at least I'm on. So thank you so much.
No, that's awesome.
We like going through them too. Like
It's so
even on our
fun.
shows and stuff, because we'll go through and be like, how's this projecting? It's like, well, not good. And then we all kind of go, oh man. Everyone start buying HasLabs. That
Well,
was
I like
me
when
during,
we
Engines of Vengeance.
Yeah, I like when we go through the charts because it makes me feel like we're doing like I'm using my schoolwork or something.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I do see the upward trajectory.
Yeah. If you look at the trends here, we can see that
Yeah.
Thanksgiving's going to be a great day.
Put my
for
glasses
Ghostbusters.
on.
Yeah, what we're saying is thank you, Brian, because none of us could do it.
No, I have
we
no
appreciate
idea.
you.
No. I could make a chart with fake data. It has nothing to do with HasLabs.
Don't do that.
Canva gives you those for free. So one more. I think you guys have given it like a rough timeline, but he did offer a super chat. So what is the estimated release if we do fund early December? Was it a early Q1 2026? Did I make that up?
Oh no, it is Q4 25, end of the year next year. Tight turnaround for this
Ooh,
one.
tight. So 1 year. Okay.
Yep.
So Pat, you were kind enough to share this awesome PDF with a bunch of like the development behind the stuff nobody's seen yet. Super excited to kind of go through that. But listen, the one question every single person has asked, and they've tried it in like different ways. So we just have to ask it.
Right.
If
Yeah.
you can't answer it, totally get it, but we got to ask. If we see a really successful HasLab campaign for the Ecto 1, what does that mean for the future of Ghostbusters, the Plasma series at Hasbro? Could we see more?
Okay.
I'm gonna
love
do my
watching
best.
him
I'm
answer
gonna
this.
do my best, Emily. Nobody knows what the future may hold.
I love it.
That was
Perfect.
really good.
Here's
That
the
was pretty
thing:
good.
if this is successful, that's kind of only good news.
Right.
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 Like,
Yeah.
like if it's successful, it's not bad. It
Right.
doesn't hurt its chances.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's tough, right? Like sales speak for themselves. Like if this is wild, if it not only funds, but if it doubles the funding, you got to take it seriously as a viable option going forward. But we're early. Let's get through this, right?
Yeah, I think it's. I have no shortage of ideas. This notebook that I will not show you what's inside of it, but it is all of my ideas,
Yeah, show us the-
Ooh.
and here it lives.
I
So-
have ideas. I'll put them in your notebook.
And by the way, like I don't want to speak for you guys, but like I don't want anybody to overthink any of that. Like anybody who's ever watched any Hasbro Q&A with any of the marketing teams, Marvel, it is our company policy. It is a toy anxiety policy that we will not comment on possible future releases that have not been announced.
And it's like that's also just to make it clear that is Hasbro policy. So as brand representatives, we are trusted to go out and communicate with other humans. And one of the things that we have been trained about is that you will never hear new news will never kind of for future releases won't come from us in these capacities.
Sure.
And so we the stock line that you will always hear from us is really like we can't comment on unannounced things that are coming up, and B, you never know what may happen. But that for most brands, there's nothing that's really off limits. So it's
Right.
really cool to kind of get to be part of the team that is figuring out what is going to be happening
Yeah.
next.
Well, and also it's so hard. Like, I don't think 2 years ago any of us would have been like, I bet there's going to be an Ecto 1 with an Ecto 1A and 7 figures as a HasLab. Like,
Yeah, no one could have predicted that.
Dude,
Yeah,
we
no-
couldn't even. I don't think we would have predicted Ghostbusters O-rings.
no, I don't think we would
Right?
have predicted that at all.
I don't think. Yeah, that was never on my radar
Child?
ever.
Oh, you have them with you.
Oh, I thought Pat was frozen.
He's frozen, but now he's not frozen.
Oh, am I frozen still?
No,
were.
you're a
Camera's
little.
a little like shaky in
little
terms
blurry.
of quality.
Yeah, it's on a. I didn't build this desk very well. That's in my basement. So anytime I slightly
It's
move,
Desk's fault.
it just it's the most unput together thing down here. So I do have this. I was gonna save it for pickups, but Ryan's got so many that I'll just show you guys now. I had this. So this isn't a super exclusive reveal, but I think outside of Rhode Island Comic Con, this might be the big reveal. So I made these O-ring figures. Here they are. They're beautiful. They come in this awesome box that looks like an old VHS tape. Some real weathering on there, a nice sticker. You know, all the fun things you would come to expect from Ghostbusters packaging. And then with a vintage twist to it. So
Well, that's amazing. I mean, that
Yeah, I
is
love the packaging.
that's how you know that a real fan was working on the packaging design, because that does look just like that a classic original VHS. So that's perfect.
Yeah, I have my original VHS, and I had them side by side the whole time I was designing this. So yeah,
Look at this.
fun.
Emperor Antonio of Cetopio. Damn it, that packaging is really cool. Ordering a second set. Look at this. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I won't tell you not to.
Can
Order
I ask
more.
a question about those for one hot second?
Go for
Yeah.
it.
How did those even come to be? Like, did you pitch that and be like, "Yo, dudes love O-rings. We should do Ghostbusters O-rings." Like,
So I don't know if you guys can tell, my basement's kind of like a mad scientist lair a little bit. I got a lot of stuff down here, to the point where I make my own prototypes, and then I bring them to the office and I show people at work and I say, "Can we make this?" And it helps a lot to just be able to be like, "I already did it.
Yeah.
It's right here."
right.
But we were re-releasing, and like the team was working on the Ecto 1, the 1/18 scale Ecto 1 from '84. And I was like, these need figures. So let's make some figures. We did some research into the processes for how to make O-rings in a new way. And I had a little small team, and we figured out how to optimize these things. And I was like, I kind of want the design to be halfway between like the detail of like a vintage collection style figure mixed with the retro feel of the classic G.I. Joes. And these babies popped out, and yeah. So
That's awesome.
it was a lot of meetings, but the process was pretty smooth, and a lot of fun.
So,
That's awesome.
not to interrupt you, but your internet quality is so bad that nobody can see those figures because they're
that
super
true?
blurry.
Well, I thought he was holding. I thought he was holding up a Twinkie.
Do you want
Was that a figure?
Yeah,
You
it's a
wanna try to
golden
come to
sponge
the
cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My internet's that bad?
Yeah, your
it's
internet's
pretty
that bad.
bad, dude.
Yeah.
The lighting is great though.
Yeah.
The chat
Yeah.
loves the colors. Looks
Why
great.
don't you, Pat? Why don't you log out and log back in?
Yeah.
Sometimes that helps, and then
I'll
we'll
be
do
back.
a couple.
We'll see if
We'll
it
do a
helps.
couple more questions, and then we'll look at some other stuff.
All right. I'll be back.
But he sounded great, and that's
Yeah,
He
I
did.
can hear
He's,
him.
Yeah.
he really sounds
Yeah.
like he knows what he's talking about, right?
yeah,
He
it's
does.
great. And that's a great question, because I think we were all surprised by those O-rings.
Well,
Yeah.
but real quick, the thing about those O-rings and about the HasLab that's really great is that what's exciting as a Ghostbusters collector is when something comes out that's new and that I don't already have a version of, like O-rings or like an Ecto 1A. So
Yeah.
that's just another reason these things are so exciting. You
That's
know,
awesome.
I don't have that.
Emily, somebody, I think McFly Toys was asking about the new kind of sales model that Hasbro's been experimenting with like the premium item pre-orders as an alternative to HasLab.
Oh yeah,
Marvel Legends.
the open pre-order stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, just from like a high level perspective, marketing, whatever, like, where did that come from? Like, what was the pivot towards that? Because it seems like for Marvel, at least, it's definitely working. I don't know. Just
Yeah,
anything on
I
that
think-
would be awesome.
I think your internet looks much better
Whoa,
now.
Pat.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Whoa,
Oh,
high
hey.
def.
Nice job.
he lives.
Yeah, I'm just kicking everyone off my Plex server.
Yeah.
Oh well, you can. I think I left it up. You can kick me off.
All right.
So for open pre-orders, we're always looking at trying different things and figuring out, trying test and learns and seeing what's going to be successful and what isn't. And so I think open pre-orders they're really interesting for kind of those more premium items where we want to make sure that everybody who can get one, who wants one, can get one. And so it is kind of it's an extension of that kind of made to order HasLab-y thing, but for some of those lower price points, which I think is really cool. And honestly, if this had been an option, so on a G.I. Joe front, when we did the Vamp and we sold 25,000 units of the Vamp in 48 hours. If we had been able to do open pre-order on those, because there were still a ton of people who said that they couldn't get them, if open pre-order was a thing at that point, we would have done that.
Right.
And so I think that it's kind of a cool evolution of being able to try new things and see what sticks. And so I think it's a neat idea. The downside to that is that it really only works for Hasbro Pulse exclusive items because it's difficult to do across other platforms. So there are still some limitations to it, but I think that it's a cool idea.
Yeah, for sure.
I think so too. I think that's kind of one thing that I'm kind of hoping that like this does so well. Like this is what we're all kind of hoping, is that this HasLab does so well that opens that door to even just that, like made to order Vigos, made to order Stay Puffs, Pterodogs.
Right.
Well, new ones or whatever. I know we got Pterodogs before, but any of that kind of stuff. Scolari Brothers.
Yeah.
I love listing things. I don't know if you've ever watched.
He's a lister. He's a lister.
I love to list.
Very
Somebody
well.
stop him.
Yeah.
He'll keep going.
You'll keep going. Right. Afterlife. We can talk about some punchers. Right. Caracas.
No, but I agree. And I think that's also like there's a lot of nuance to that too, where once you guys do like, a couple the Marvel pre-orders and a couple G.I. Joes, you start kind of seeing like, hey, we know that we can sell X amount of whatever item. And that can also sometimes, especially going direct to consumer, maybe like bring down price points or have even more deluxe offerings. Like, I just think it's a cool way to experiment because obviously like the one thing we've been talking about, and like we started Toy Anxiety in 2020, like there's a monumental shift in the way that toys are distributed to retail, and there's more and more opportunities to buy stuff from fan channel or directly from Hasbro Pulse or whatever. So I'm not too picky about where I get my toys. I just know what I like and I want to get them. So yeah,
I think that's fair. And speaking of things that we like and want to get, hey Pat, do you want to hold up your O-ring figures again so people can see them this time?
It's like, wow, they looked really retro last time.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, great. Now we can comment. I love the
beautiful.
weathering.
First of all, my camera to me looked just exactly the same
No,
as it does now.
your camera lies.
Here's this vintage box.
Mhm.
I love that.
Oh, I like the side where it looks like the tape.
The tape,
Oh yeah, I made myself a little Ecto Max logo. I can't get it to focus.
Ecto Max. It's the third. You heard of beta and VHS? There was a third option.
It's a little thicker, but you still have to pull the tab to record it on the
love
VCR.
it.
Nice.
Okay, nice.
So now you can be Ecto Max Elite if you get this.
I love that.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So
That's
there's
great. Cool. I also like, can you show the back of the box?
Yeah.
Because you recreated the back of the actual VHS, but with
The
O-ring.
figures.
And I think that's, I don't know,
Great.
that's nice.
It's just a nice touch.
attention to detail.
Were those digital rigs or was that a photo shoot?
So that was digital. That was Tony and Shanae in the model shop. Our model artists are fantastic.
Yeah.
They're some of the best
Next
people.
level. Yeah.
Also, just putting it out there, digital O-ring, kind of a cool screen name. Might have to claim that one.
Mhm.
Next time I download AOL.
Another podcast. Great.
Someone's gonna pop up in the chat.
Welcome to Digital O-ring. Yeah, that's gonna be somebody's name. All right,
fun,
guys.
too.
So, guys, we'll do some more questions. So get them in, and I want to be respectful of Pat and Emily's time. Do you guys have a few more minutes?
Oh
I
yeah.
got nothing going on.
I got nothing
Cool.
going on. So
I'll
let's
just be watching the show anyway. So
okay, right. So now
and
you're
answering questions in the chat.
yes, Pat. You guys have both just been so over communicative and really cool about all this. So, okay, so let's take a look. Pat, you sent me I hope we can. You wanted me to share this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I hope I'm not breaking it.
Put it down. Take it down.
So do you want to walk me through some of the stuff? So,
So our one of our product designers, his name's Eitan, is probably the most detail-oriented guy I've ever met in my life. And you guys, Craig, I know you've talked with him before, and like you saw his stuff at the panel. He had prepared those slides for Kevin to show at the New York Comic Con panel. But just like making sure that we nailed the height and adjusting the size of the car to make sure that those figures would fit in the back, and lowering that seat so that you can have 2 figures facing each other that won't interfere with the roof.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So really just like the most, this is probably the least detailed picture I sent you, but
I would put this poster on my wall. I think it looks cool. But yeah,
you can print it out if you want. But like even stuff like this where we printed out so many balloons to figure out what the right size would be.
That's awesome.
Yes, that's
That's
so
funny.
thorough.
Yeah, so like, and then looking at it in scale with, I think, the headless Winston. But yeah, just making sure that things felt right, so it wasn't too small and somebody would lose it. I know there was a chess piece in the Phoebe set.
I've lost that thing 12 times.
Yeah, it fell off my shelf and is gone. I don't know what happened to it, but that won't happen with this balloon.
I think this is a really cool opportunity. I really want to. I might clip even just this segment because I think. How do I say this? Sometimes toy collectors can be overzealous and like make really weird assumptions about the way things are made and developed. But like, just looking at this picture of these 6 balloons or 5 balloons, it's like the amount of thought that goes into something even so small is pretty amazing. All right, so we got some more. We got the engine block here.
Yeah. So Aton researched the 59 Miller Meteor and all of the engine parts. He went through and meticulously designed this thing. So like there should be an image that I sent you that has all the parts drawn.
Okay, maybe it's down a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's the next one. So he went through and redrew every individual part of this engine, all the wires, the radiator, all of it, just to make sure that this thing felt as accurate as possible to the real car. And like people forget because like, the big stuff that we do like this, like it looks so real. Like we're a toy company.
Right.
We're the same guys that make Play-Doh. So like the fact that there's this much detail and this much thought going into the engine, the fake engine of a fake car, is incredible. I've never seen somebody like Craig. The file I was pulling from to grab these photos from you is 165 pages long.
Wow. Which we will be releasing as a downloadable PDF for only $1,000 a purchase.
Do an audiobook.
We will not be doing an audiobook of
so like it's full of befores and afters and like change this scale, fix this. There's so many red lines, so many drawings. Like he has the fan on the front of that engine. Like when he made sure that he was representing that as he was trying to build this car. Like the research that he did into this engine was insane.
Yeah. And it shows too. I mean,
and the dashboard, like just looking at the notes and the drawings and the sculpt inputs for the dashboard of the car, it's really a labor of love. Like
I was joking about the book, but like famously the Barge HasLab had the making of book, which I think it's so cool that you guys are coming on here and sharing some of this internal stuff because I think it really like no joke, like no BS. Like I think it speaks to the level of care, accuracy, research, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of work on the team. Probably thousands, actually. Obviously thousands. It's 40 hours work week. You guys have been doing this for a year and a half. So lots of work goes into this. And I think it's awesome.
No, I love this stuff though. I'd love to see more books or just stuff on the making of toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, the process is really cool. And like these that you're about to get to are like these are what we call the sculpt inputs for our model sculptor. To
now,
really
who is this? Is he working Hasbro? Who is this?
Dan Aykroyd. Yeah, so even just like figuring out exactly how Bill Murray's face looked at the time, and then really just like we would scrub through, like Aton and I would scrub through the movie and pick out facial expressions that we liked, that we wanted to see the sculptor kind of take a stab at. And for Venkman's character, we nailed, like, we got as close as I think anybody has to this kind of like almost like mind reading, his little, you know, Bill Murray's facial expressions are very subtle, and he's always got a little bit of a smirk, but we wanted to try and do something a little different than the last iteration of Bill Murray sculpts. So
these are cool. Some of these pictures I feel like I haven't seen before. These are great.
Right.
And how does it,
knocked it out of the park with finding references and stuff.
little inside baseball question here. When you guys are developing this stuff, like you're having meetings with, I'm sure it's different for all the different license holders, right? Or license. I always forget which one's the licensee and the licensor. It doesn't matter. When you're meeting,
the licensee.
Okay.
Sony's the licensor.
So when you're meeting with Sony, when you're meeting with Ghost Corps, and you, how involved are they in like providing reference to things that maybe you can't source, you know, on the internet?
They're really good. I will text Eric and be like, I need this very specific reference. Can you find this? And 99% of the time he'll be able to send it right away. And the other 1% of the time he finds somebody who has it that can send it to me.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that. That's literally just like the Ghostbusters community, like fans and friends are, like Ray Cameron in the chat. Like if he's got pictures of every like different detailed when it comes to props and stuff and recreates them, and it sounds so reminiscent of what we're already doing. So I really relate to the process that goes into this.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's good, right? Like Ghost Corps is a pretty small outfit too. Like you don't have, like, obviously Sony's huge, but the people that are, you know, the people that you really want to be talking to, like you're not going to go to Sony for like, hey, how many key fobs were on Louis Tully's belt? Like, but you could go to Eric or Ghost Corps. And
yeah,
they're going to be able to give you that information. Oh, I love the Dana. These are great.
Yes.
These are awesome.
And the cool thing is, like, because like that was one of the big reasons I reached out to Greg and the Ectotech team. Like as soon as we got approval and we knew we were going forward with the Ecto, I was like, hey, I know just the guys to call.
Right.
Call them. And you know, we brought them in early. So we would make sure that we were, you know, staying true to form with everything for the cars and just trying to get it as close as possible.
I love this red, bold star. He should not have a mustache.
Had to make sure.
It was very important.
It is important. Yeah.
It's literally, it's the essence of Winston Zedmore in that movie is that he does not have a mustache. And then obviously we talked a lot about Louis earlier. Just a lot of really great reference here. So
much Canadian talent.
Also, just as a quick side note, so I've worked on a lot of HasLab projects. If anybody's keeping track, this is my 6th HasLab project that I've worked on.
Yeah.
And not every team is this thorough when it comes to references for things. It is kind of unusual that, you know, you get to have, I mean, I work on a lot of non-licensed brands, and on G.I. Joe, we just kind of make everything up as we go. But even still, to have this many reference photos and this in-depth of a research document to put all of this time and effort into projects, this is next level. And so all of this is because Aton is so incredibly detail-oriented, and because we are blessed to have Pat on the team. And as a fan, between the two of them, they are able to accomplish something that is really something special. And so I just don't want that to get lost in the, as you know, everybody's really excited about this. Like that is something that is unique to these really amazing Ghostbusters projects. And I think something that, in addition to getting to be a really cool franchise to work on, like that teamwork is amazing. And all of the teams that we work with are incredible, and everybody is really, really good at what they do. But this is something really special.
I mean, I was talking to Jacob. I was looking at I had my HasLab pack on a shelf, and I took it down. I was looking at it today. It's unbelievable that you guys pulled off that Proton pack a couple years ago. The fact that you could just get a Proton pack and it looks amazing. And like now we've seen the change in the community. Obviously, nothing's ever going to replace a fan built pack and all that stuff.
BS, Craig. HasLab, not has been. That's what I say all the time.
That's why I'm wearing this shirt, Ryan.
Ryan's going to keep me honest. But when you go to conventions now, it's mostly HasLab packs because you guys made it
Made it accessible.
Made it accessible.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
Right?
library goes here. These are really cool. I love these sketches. This is awesome.
These are great.
And then Slimer, we've talked a lot about Slimer. So obviously we got Mark Brian Wilson, the original Slimer puppeteer. Just really great reference here, and you guys really nailed it. So I like this. This is a really nice profile, 3/4 shot of Slimer.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And you can see the hand placement, like where the arms are coming up from, like lower in the body, which I think y'all got that down.
I put the Slimer butt in there for you guys.
You have to.
Up top.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
nice.
that was one of our questions in the Discord. Is like when it came to the butt, just what was the conversation like? How many?
Somebody asked a butt question.
Somebody asked a
Yeah.
butt.
Surprise.
Mhm.
So really, thank you, Pat, for sharing that. That stuff is awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Super
Absolutely. I didn't get it cleared, but I think I did a good job of figuring out what was okay.
Did a good job. Yeah.
So, guys,
At least
let's.
it's good.
So we're almost at an hour with you guys. So let's do this. Let's rapid fire in the chat. 5 more minutes Q&A, and then we'll go to this one first because this is super chat. Davey, what's the timetable look like from closing to shipment as far as production? When is the final model due, and how close to the deadline are changes made? Ooh, some behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. So it's HasLab. So I think Pat mentioned this earlier. HasLabs are weird because they basically go through twice the development cycle of regular items. So we do about a year's worth of work to get to a one-off model for the campaign, because we have realized that having a physical model goes a real long way in showing kind of proof of concept and size and all of that good stuff. So once the campaign funds, then we actually go through like regular toy development. So then we actually cut tools, we actually go through all of our prototyping phases, we do all the packaging and all of that good stuff. So typically after campaign close, it takes about, if you look at the campaign timing from campaign close to ship, and what shipping windows are on campaigns, it's usually around 14 months after campaign closes. So it does go through a full development cycle after that. So we are going to try to expedite the ectos to the best of our abilities and get them to you by the end of next year, which will be tight, but we think that it's doable. We're real confident in our abilities. But it's fun to be able to go back through that. But so you can make little tweaks all the way through the prototyping process. After tools are cut, it's a little bit harder to make like large updates, but we can tweak colors, we can tweak coding for things. You can kind of tweak packaging up until fairly late in a development stage. But so we should see final models usually come in around 4 to 6 months before shipping, because there's a lot of these. And so they all have to leave our factories. They have to show up at domestic warehouses all at the same time. And then with HasLabs, it's a little bit of a pain because we have to wait until all of the quantities are in warehouses before we end up shipping them out so that everybody gets theirs at approximately the same time.
Right.
So we've been getting a lot of questions about 2 in the box because people have been getting their emails saying, update your shipping addresses. And so we are waiting for like 22,000 of them to show up in our warehouse in Chino, California before they can start getting shipped out into the United States. So you should have them soon. They just hit our sample warehouses, which means that they are shipping imminently. So you'll have them by the end of the year, and they look really, really good. So we hope that everybody's as excited to get them as we are to play with them and see how they ended up. They are one of the most complicated projects we have done here. The Ghostbusters team really doesn't enjoy doing things the easy way. So 2 in the box is crazy complicated. The ectomobiles are crazy complicated.
What if we replace the roof rack on the Ecto 1 and then change the lighting sequence to be accurate to the second movie? Like, Okay.
Yeah, there's
problem.
there's a lot of me messaging people way after hours being like, oh, can we also just do this real quick? And then somebody's like, ah, crap. Like,
But
all
I
right,
think that that is like that Pat's dedication to accuracy and trying to make everything as good as humanly possible for Ghostbusters fans is, I think, a lot of what people respond positively to in these campaigns. And it is your attention to detail and it is your willingness to be an absolute pain to get that across to everybody on the team and make things happen. So it goes a long way.
making me blush.
this is
Yeah,
this is
no, that's
literally
super appreciated for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, you're like the heart of the Ghostbusters, the race dance of the team. That's
Yeah.
like literally we need that, and that's what people are responding to. I think.
Yeah,
As-
yeah,
just
usually-
like you said, Emily.
I'm gonna need 5 letters of recommendation.
You got it.
You got it.
Daily affirmations.
Just every meeting you go to, just start off with this 1 hour interview. Like, watch this. And then
Yeah. Well, Ryan Dole said this.
yeah. Okay, we'll do a couple more. Really,
Oscar winner Ryan Dole.
right? This is like
Name's
true.
on
I
my
think
shirt.
you see the fan appreciation too, because this is literally like it's not just like, yeah, everybody wanted Ghostbusters 2 Plasma Series figures. We've been asking. By the way, egg on my face because for 2 years I've been like, guys, it's not gonna happen. You're living in a dream world. And then it happened. I was like, oh, okay.
Turns
Cool.
out we are living in a dream world.
We are living in a dream world. All right, so Dave, this is a good one from Davey. Pat and Emily, would you rather help create a new line from the ground up or work on bringing a nostalgia line into the current age? That's kind of like a fun question.
Ooh.
Go, Emily.
I have spent my job is also weird and I do a lot of things that aren't actually in my job description and nobody exactly knows what my job is anymore. But one of the things I've gotten to do in the last couple of years is spend a lot of time in the Hasbro archives. I'm probably one of the people who has spent the most time in there recently. And so I think that there are so many cool things that we have had a hand in over the last, 100 years of all of the companies that we have acquired and gotten to work with, that I would love to get to bring some of that back for a nostalgia bomb of a line. I think would be absolutely incredible. So I think that getting to, and part of that is having spent time on Classified, it's so cool to watch the team's train of thought of, this is this like absolutely bonkers figure from the early 90s that is like really polarizing, but we're going to make it so cool that people are going to say, holy shit, I need that in my collection.
Right.
And I think that being able to kind of contribute that to another line and have people be that excited would be really, really cool.
Pat, before you answer, I just want to comment. This is something we've talked about and pontificated on a lot, is how the G.I. Joe fans completely were like, yes, 6-inch figures, let's go. This is what we've always wanted. Like, fully bought in, obsessed with Classified. Maybe just take it to levels that I can't even fathom. But then a line like Star Wars, there is more of a traditionalist, like, no, 3 3/4 inches, that's the scale. And
Legacy scale, just
legacy
say
scale. Legacy scale. And it's interesting how the different lines of the different fandoms gravitate towards different stuff. So I find it fascinating. Pat, do you have any
It was
answer to that?
Classified too. Sorry, I just want to tag onto that, Craig.
Tag.
With Classified though, you get so much bang for your buck than any other 6-inch figure. And even though Marvel Legends, you get your Build-A-Figures, you get your extra portraits. Thank you, Mondo, for teaching me that word, not letting it out of my system. So you get those extra portraits, you get the extra hands, and all that extra, like, you get a lot of accessories and stuff. But I still think with Classified, you get so much with every figure. It is bonkers.
You get like 4 guns and 2 knives and
Sometimes
backpack.
a crocodile.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I have a bag of G.I. Joe animals somewhere in here. But yeah, it's tough because like so much of my life focuses on nostalgia, but I have so many ideas for things beyond nostalgia, so many original things. And like I got to shout out to like Tony Taylor because I know he's in the chat, but like the original
hey.
stuff that I see Tony do is like it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And like to be able to also try to harness that creativity on my own. At the end of the day, I'm tired. So so that nostalgia is both like it's something I know like the back of my hand, and it's also comforting. So I'd take either one. Like I'm not picky at this point. Like I would love to keep working on nostalgia brands, and like also something new could be really, really cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right. Hang on. Sorry. I also want to add up to because now I got some follow-up questions with that too. When it comes to pitching brand new ideas at a large company like Hasbro, who's very much into the safety of IPs that are already established. Like, how tough is that to even like pitch for someone to even listen to a new idea?
Well, what I do with my new ideas is I take them to Emily.
She either goes, yeah, or Pat, you're embarrassing yourself.
I'm not sure I've ever told him that he's embarrassing himself for a good. He is an absolute font of amazing ideas that I think all have at least some element of viability to them, and it's incredible because this is like not how my brain works. And so getting to be surrounded by people who are creative in ways that I am incapable of fathoming is so cool for me. And so I love what this is going to sound terrible. And he doesn't like it when I compliment him. So he's really not going to like it when I compliment him in front of all of these humans. But he can do pretty much anything, and we can be sitting in a meeting and somebody can have an idea, or we can bring something up, and then I'll look over and he's sketching it and he holds it up and he's like, oh, you mean like this? Or we'll be talking about packaging and he'll be like, oh, you mean like exactly this thing that I just sketched out in this like very helpful render that now we can just send over to whoever our vendor is and tell them exactly what to do. And it's just so, I feel like I am so lucky to get to both be his friend and get to kind of be somebody that he bounces ideas off of, because it's remarkable. So
that's awesome.
There's your compliments for today.
Pat appreciation night. I like that. No, that's
I
awesome.
like it.
Okay. Like I said, we're going to rapid fire. I'll try to do yes and no questions. Nothing.
We really don't have anything else to do. If you want to just
okay. Well,
like,
we're going to, no. We're going to do some of our weekly pick. You guys can hang out for the rest of the show. Sometimes I get self-conscious, like, God, do they really want to sit here and watch me go, I got a Master Universe figure in the mail? Yeah, whatever. Okay. So let's just do it and take them or leave them. Mike Davis says, will we ever get a Janine figure?
Like we said earlier, you never know where the future may hold. Stay tuned.
Who knows?
I'll give the answer for this one, same as the last one. Will we ever see a slime blower?
Oh, that one. You know what? I'm going to break stride. No, you won't, because we costed it out, and good God, it would be crazy expensive and crazy heavy. And much like a USS Flag, you would not want to pay for it. So
I would. I'll pay for it. I'll do it. Do one of those pre-order things. Yeah. Do one of those made-to-order pre-order like Marvel Legends things. I'll buy it.
Yeah. How many slime blowers do we sell? 4.
1.
No anxiety.
Yeah.
Jace, the Ecto 1A LED boards are a little bit transparent on the black areas. To manage expectations, how opaque do you think the black will be on the final piece? Ooh.
I'm working on it. So that was one of the things that we noted as soon as we got the prototype in. And like that went up to the top of my list of like, make sure we fix this when we get past prototype.
There you go.
Chris B, an engine idling sound would be awesome. That's not a question. That's just a
yes, it would.
There you
We agree. Chris.
I just love that. It's like I just want my Ecto 1 on the shelf idling. That's
all
what
the
I
time.
want.
24 hours.
In New York, like we were with the cars, and to hear that engine growl
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Like Zach, our electronics engineer, and I were standing right next to the car for a long time, and I know you guys get to ride in it, but it's a very identifiable growl to that
Yeah.
end.
Yep.
And we were both like, we just both like caught each other's eyes, and we were like, yeah, let's make a mental note for when we get back to the office.
Shane has asked this a couple times about the sizing of the figure and the Ecto one. As far as, so we all know like 1/12 is kind of a catch-all number. Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe Classified, Ghostbusters Plasma Series are all around 6 inches, give or take a few. I think he's kind of asking, hey, if I want to stick the X-Men into my Ecto one, will it
Yeah.
work?
So yes, you can stick other lines in. So not to use other licensed brands, but you can put a G.I. Joe figure into the vehicle, no problem at all. And they are from a scale. There's kind of two different 6-inch scales that we're working in, and there's a little bit more of a realistic scale and a little bit more of like a hero scale. So
Yeah.
Plasma Series and Black Series are roughly equivalent, and then Classified Series and Marvel Legends are also roughly equivalent. So Legends and Classified are usually a little larger than 6-inch. Plasma and Black Series are usually a little bit smaller than 6-inch. And so any of those lines, I believe, will work, with the exception of like some of the super beefy G.I. Joe guys where like their chest may not fit behind the steering wheel, but otherwise, you have a lot of flexibility in the sizes of figures that you will be able to fit into this car.
I mean, if you guys just include some Cobra logos on the sticker sheet, we could probably sell another 8,000 of these to the classified collector.
Just what they want.
I might have a Ghostbusters tank in my cubicle that I made.
Yes. Alternate vehicles.
I couldn't see that. They're giving us an Ecto one, and they won't even get us a USS Flag classified series.
If we did a Classified Series USS Flag, we sized it out just for giggles. I'd actually be able to stand in it, like full, like upright. It would be over 5 feet in depth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, now this has to get made.
Confirmed.
Hashtag, yeah.
Well, it would come with divorce papers. Like we would just ship them to you
Nice.
with your purchase. Yeah.
The size
Absolutely.
of a houseboat.
Yeah.
God,
So we could move
I had
That's
the
a big
best-
Twinkie.
Yeah.
I had the greatest comeback lined up, and I just sailed right back in. You know what? Because I am a fan of the fellow collector. I will not put down. By the way, the Defiant was one of my all-time favorites as a kid. I had the Defiant. I don't bragging. I had the Defiant.
I had to define-
Something
so
that likely won't show up in Classified Series full
Yeah.
scale. So
Yeah.
just to set your expectations.
Oh, darn it. Okay, let's see. Lots of people thanking you guys, so that's great. People are asking about pinless joints. This is my like blind spot in toy collecting. I don't know anything about joints and articulation. So do we want to comment on that, or is that a thing?
So the figures are using the same bodies as the existing Ghostbusters, so they are not going to be pinless joints.
Okay, cool. Let's see.
That's not one of those things that's ever bothered me.
No, it just doesn't
Where I
bother
can sit
me.
there, I look at the toy and go, "Oh my god, I can see a pin." That's just not me. But
King Panther, Emily, do you collect? What do you collect? Or do you collect toys, or are you done by the end of the day? Are you like, I can't look at a toy?
So the room that I'm in now actually used to have a ton of toys in it. I have a surprising number of Furbies and a surprising number of Blythe dolls. The super creepy Japanese dolls that have a pull string on the back of their head and their eyes change.
Okay.
They're beautifully haunted and they bring
I
me
want to
great
see this
joy.
collection.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
They're terrifying and I love them. What else do I have? I've been rescuing old princesses of power that I find at toy stores that
Right.
seem like they need good homes.
Here
So
for
I
that
have
cause.
I have a collection of them, right? Like they need somewhere to go. I don't know. Pat, what am I forgetting? What else do I have?
Well, Pat, what don't you collect? Look at this room.
Oh, yeah, he's got so much stuff.
There's a lot of stuff.
Got a hoverboard. You got a T-Rex.
Yeah, I've got what a delicate thing. I've got Jurassic Park. I've got a lot of old Kenner stuff.
Careful.
Yeah, it's fine. A lot of old Kenner stuff. Like I have a lot of these. Like remember these Pizza Hut hand puppets
Yep.
from back in the day.
Eureka the Dragon.
Yeah, I've got, Star Wars is a huge thing. Like right off camera there.
I just
somewhere.
looked. I'm such an idiot. He pointed. I went like this to see if I could see it.
Right off camera, I've got like a Han and Carbonite that I
I
made
see 'em.
myself next to a full like Mandalorian suit that I made myself next to a life-size Alec Guinness Obi-Wan Kenobi
I thought
that
it
I
was
cut the
Alex
head off the
Trebek.
mannequin. Yeah.
Okay.
Alex Trebek.
It's I collect too much and too often, but I don't collect G.I. Joe.
That's okay. We're gonna.
It's true. That's fine. I have all the GI Joes you could ever want in my basement. So
Oh,
Here.
we need
Oh,
to
is
talk
that an
because-
invite?
Because I'm back on classified. I've been on and off classified. It's my yo-yo collecting habit, but I'm back on. I picked up a couple of retros. I need to find the retro Cobra Commander with the
So
That's-
spoiler alert for those of you who haven't been to our office before, I'm going to throw Ryan Ting under the bus with me right now.
Uh-oh.
Ryan Ting and I are the most prolific sample hoarders at Hasbro.
Okay.
And so we have so much stuff in the building and we're getting better about it. So we're getting better at only keeping things for historical purposes, but we get requests that are like, hey, we need 50 of something in the next 3 hours, make it happen.
right.
And you know what? Ryan and I could always do it.
Yeah, like you guys get emails from the facilities team that are like fire hazard, move all these boxes.
I
I just tripped over 20 beachheads.
surprisingly, Beachhead was very hard to get samples of. I don't know if
Okay.
anybody else was trying to get Cobra Island samples, but who, buddy, that was
Oh, do
I
I
had to-
remember Cobra Island?
I had to buy those from Target when they would do product drops because they never showed up at our warehouses. So there's like 2 samples of Cobra Island Baroness, and they have like Target return labels on them because I found them in a store one day.
I remember during
but
the
it's-
pandemic lining up outside of Target to find Baroness, and I tried to walk in, and they were like, "It's elderly shopping only right now," and I was like, "What? is that a thing?" So, the pandemic
good
was
times,
wild.
good times.
Yeah. All right, couple more questions. Let's see. Jason Grahowski, I'm not going to ask if it'll ever happen, but we'll just do it as a suggestion. Ghostbusters accessory pack would be really cool, and I think we all agree that would be cool.
That's what 2 in the box is, isn't it?
Well, I think he means like for
Oh.
the plasma series.
World
figure.
building accessories for plasma series. Yeah,
I've literally seen people like, I would get this HasLab, but there's no Geiger meter. I'm out. Like, give me a
Yeah,
break.
actually,
Good for them.
let's ask about that. Why is there no Geiger meter?
Yeah, Pat.
I forgot.
that seems like a Pat question.
Yeah, you forgot. Oh, Mr. Details forgot where the biggest details.
I got a lot going on, man. I'm making Ryan Dole shirts.
Yeah, I know.
Crispy Hasbro got more of my money tonight. I'm sold on a second box of O-ring figures and switching my base ecto for a Sec Deluxe
Heck
cube
yeah.
to no difference in
Hey,
packaging.
the O-ring figures are sold out. What's
They're
gonna
on-
happen there?
Big Bad Toy Store, I think, right?
So they're on Big Bad Toy Store, and the way that pre-orders work for most places, but definitely at Hasbro Pulse, is that there is a certain allocation of number of quantity that we sell on pre-order. Usually it's most of the quantity that we have coming in, but then usually there are some order cancellations that just kind of happen over the course of pre-order. There's like some attrition rate. And so those additional quantities, after the first shipment goes up, they will get put back up online. So if you're looking to purchase those O-rings from Hasbro Pulse, or you're looking for other items that may be on pre-order and sold out, just keep an eye out for when they start to ship, because usually more quantities are released.
Cool.
Nice. See, yeah, I always wondered that. That's great.
You're
There you go.
welcome. See,
Yeah.
aren't you glad that you finally invited me to be on the show?
I've been trying to for years.
Uh-oh. What happened to Abby? She's circling.
She's circling. Uh-oh.
All right. Well, we'll just see what happens. She's in the other room. I know she's fine. But this has been confirmed. There will be a USB port all the time.
Yes,
Yeah.
confirmed.
We
So the
used it at
US
Comic-Con this weekend, and it was great.
Yeah. The USB-C port is it's underneath the back bumper of the cars, and it will work for always on. And it does look very nice.
Cool. All right, here comes a bunch of detail ones. Pat, Emily, we'll do it one at a time. Are the Ecto license plates swappable?
Yeah, they're decals. Is the amber light on the Ecto 1A grill magnetic or snap-on? Excellent question. It's swappable somehow that I don't know the answer to yet.
It's not a snap-on, but it is a piece that is switchable.
Yeah, it's like pressure. Is it like pressure fit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll find out.
Will the front back roof light bars be correctly switched on the Ecto 1A?
Yeah, if you can tell me exactly, that's one of the things I talked to Greg about this on the phone during lunch today. Just tell me
just
exactly.
to clarify, we're sitting in a sushi restaurant. We are in the middle of lunch. Greg calls and Pat's like, "Oh, gotta take this call." So listening to one side of this conversation while I'm like, do I just keep eating my sushi while he's talking about this?
Well, he's talking about light bars.
Yeah.
Cool. Man, guys, there's so many questions. We're way behind. I can't do this to you guys.
Craig goes.
Oh,
Craig goes. Hey, we're gonna do 5 quick minutes of Q&A. 20 minutes later.
I
we're still
know.
As long as you guys are up for it, we don't mind. So.
Okay.
Hey, I'm. It's early
I'm
here.
looking
where I
at some of these questions. Somebody keeps asking if the radio is going to work.
No.
No, it's definitely not.
Hey, we ignore some questions on purpose.
Yeah. It's not, we're, by the way, Abby's computer died. It's probably my fault because I set her computer up and I probably forgot to plug it in. So we're gonna try to get that back online. In the meantime, let's guess answer a few more questions. Why not? But also I'm seeing just a lot of comments here, a lot of people with real fun quips. So
I'll try and keep my answers shorter instead
no,
of
it's
Kevin Smith type monologue.
Yeah. Well, first of all, a lot of people are just showing appreciation to you guys for being here, so that's awesome. Tony Taylor, will the glove box be functional? Can you open the glove box?
No.
Tony, after we complimented you,
Yeah.
you're gonna ask that?
You got to do this to me.
I thought maybe you could put the balloon in there so you don't lose it.
Full of Twinkies.
So let's see here. I don't know. How was Ernie Hudson? Do you like the Ectos?
He was good. He seemed like he needed a nap. That they had them with like the top tier celebrities inside the ice rink attached to the convention center in Providence, and it was he was so nice and so gracious.
Yeah.
I was just freaking out the whole time. I was
Yeah,
freaking
he's
out
awesome.
before, during, and then after he left, and I think sometime in the middle I blacked out. But it was
Funny.
I got a question here from the chat.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
No, go
Hang
for
on.
it.
I'll throw this one up first. This is from BC DeLorean, another movie, Cars. My boy Brandon, also an Ecto 1 owner. What is your favorite detail on the Ecto? Is there something new you learned about the car?
Ooh. Is this a me question or an Emily question? Emily, you want to answer first? Or you want me to pull an answer out of my hat?
I think that my favorite thing is honestly the dashboard of the car. It's
That was my answer.
so
No, I need another one.
it's so insanely detailed, and I think that having even though the radio doesn't work, the light on it does work, and I think that it just adds a level of realism that I was not necessarily expecting to see, but when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, I can't imagine this car without this level of detail in the dash.
No, that's
It's like one of those things you don't think about. The dashboard isn't usually like what people are like, oh, the Ecto 1's got a cool dashboard. But then when
Yeah.
you see it, you're like, oh.
And
It's kind of the
our-
whole inside of the car is kind of like that.
Yeah, and our photographer Matt got this very cool new lens that's like this. It's this
Periscope.
long.
It's a periscope.
It's a periscope lens. Thank you for saying that and sparing me from making that hand gesture on camera. So it's a periscope lens, but because of that, he could actually stick the periscope lens in through the trunk of the car to get a shot out of the front of it. And it was, I think that was the moment where I was like, oh my God, this is incredibly cool.
That's awesome.
This is a good question from Andrew Bayless. Will there be any secret Easter eggs implemented with the ectos, like the secret sounds on the proton packs? So that's one.
If our electronics engineer has anything to say about it, he will hide Morse code, he will hide light codes, he will hide everything he can find in the code for the car, so that, you know, what happens on a long button press. Like, I think there's some like there's definitely a lot of hidden stuff in this trap. Like there's a button on the back, and if you hold down that button, there's like special modes you can enter. There's, you know, Adam Savage goes through some of it. And a lot of people have already translated some of the Morse code. And yeah, there's going to be Easter eggs everywhere.
Cool. And then this question comes out a lot. As far as international numbers on the HasLab, are those counted as we go? Do they come in later? I think there's some misinformation on that.
Two different kinds of international numbers. So we have our international Pulse numbers. So everywhere that Pulse Hasbro Pulse has a website, those international numbers come in just as they are backed. For markets that do not have Hasbro Pulse, those markets are allowed to pick one retailer to take orders. So those orders are reported in once a week, and then we add those as we go. Usually those numbers are not hugely significant. They're usually under 500 total orders over the course of the entire campaign, but every little bit counts.
That's awesome. So could be some late, you know, ones that file in near the end. Abigail, are you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
My computer died for a moment, and I'm plugged in. So sorry about that, everyone.
Yeah. Well, I think we're at the end of the questions. Really, actually, good job tonight. Good job on the question. Good job on the question.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't sure who you were talking to.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah. Great
Everybody
job.
involved.
Jeffrey says, wanted to say this will be my first Ghostbusters toy ever. Great job.
Well, don't stop there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's more toys to buy.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go back and get some of those older Plasma series figures from what was it, 2 years ago now?
It's been a couple years.
It's been a couple
5
years.
years ago?
No.
5 years ago? Yeah, the Afterlife line.
Afterlife. Yeah.
Yeah.
N-
Because I very distinctly remember, so I wasn't on Ghostbusters at the time, but Pam, who was the marketer, and I reported up to the same boss. And so I got to hear all about the issues. Oh, bless.
We were all at the Pam, so we all got patches made.
We
Is that weird? Now I'm like, wait, that might be weird.
It's weird when you say it out loud. Yeah.
It's
well,
like-
she was our Ghostbusters rep. We had to protect her at all costs.
Yes.
It was so interesting hearing about with all, you know, the movie date changes because of COVID, all of the toy line changes, and I saw a question come through in the chat of, is this going to come with real slime? No, because I remember listening to all of the engineers talking about how they had to replace the slime in the Afterlife toys because they sat in warehouses for too long. And it was awful. So we will not put slime in with a fan collector item like this for the same reason we don't put batteries in fan collector items like this, because if you aren't opening it for 5 years, for 10 years, for 20 years, we want to make sure that there are no weird surprises that you're going to find inside. Like, God knows what happens in that magical can of slime after 5 years, or like batteries that have leaked all over everything. So we really want to make sure that especially for like HasLabs or for higher price point fan items, that you can have a good unboxing experience regardless of when you are actually opening your box.
That is some great forward thinking.
Yeah, we collectors appreciate that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Afterlife rollout was crazy. Like it was supposed to happen summer 2020, and then the movie didn't come out till almost the end of 2021. So that means that stuff was probably developed in 2018. We're coming up on a decade. Like, this is crazy.
It's just try not to think about it in terms of like, actual time, because then it gets depressing. So
Yeah.
Yep.
But Plasma Series is back, so there we go.
Yeah.
That's
So
Is Craig frozen?
Craig's frozen.
Craig's
Yeah.
frozen.
Frozen
can you
Empire
hear me?
over here.
We can hear you, but you have a very
one
stern
of us must always be
look
frozen.
on your
We're at
He's
that
coming
so-
back.
Once we reach that 1 hour mark, that's when things
Starts
start to
to
go
fade.
awry.
Back to the Future picture.
There he is.
I'm back. I just look way worse. 'Cause I don't know what happened. Oh, I think maybe my phone died or something. I don't know.
Wow, you guys know how to plug stuff up over there. Huh?
We're trying. We're doing our best.
Hey, literally, I just looked my phone. That's
Hey, my ecto doesn't work. Have you plugged in the USB?
yeah. I'm just showing what it's like to not have your ecto always plugged in. It will not work. Okay. All right, guys. Well, so here we go. Ryan, I know you've got a bunch of pickups from vacation. I want you to get to those. Does anybody have anything else tonight that needs to be talked about, discussed as far as the ecto goes? Other than go back the damn thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
back it today.
Back it. And thank you, Pat and Emily.
Yeah,
if you know you're
absolutely.
gonna back it,
Guys,
just back it.
like
That's it.
this is like being able to come on here and talk has been awesome. Being able to get to know you guys over the last few months has been incredible. Even you, Ryan, you've changed my life forever.
That's fine.
But no, this is honestly like this is so cool, and the whole fan community. There are some fan communities out there that scare me to death. This isn't one of them.
Oh, then you've
so-
never been on the GV fans forums. So,
I don't know that I'm welcome there.
yeah, nobody is.
Not even AJ, who
Not a welcome.
not even the creator. They've turned on their creator. So yeah, and let's just finish out because this is the question only came in once tonight, but I know you guys have reiterated a couple times. Decals, I can say it for you, but I want you to deliver it from y'all on what the protocol is with the decals, how many times you can reuse them, and what the suggestion is for collectors.
Yeah, so the decals are standard vinyl repositionable decals that are used with projects of this caliber. So when you get so as a reminder, either the base or the deluxe options both come with one car body. And so it's kind of a choose your own adventure for how you'd like to display your ecto. So the decals are vinyl, so they're not paper, so they won't rip when you try to pick them up. They are kind of industry standard is repositionable at least 5 times, sometimes up to 10, depending on how you're using them and how you're resticking them. We know that this is something that people are concerned about. So we are trying to give you at least twice as many decals as you actually need so that you will have extras. So that if, you really don't love the way something looks or you really want to like try something different, you can. We've heard some people saying that they may do one side decked out as an Ecto 1 and one side decked out as an Ecto 1A and just kind of flip the car when they want to they want to change the roof rack on it. That sounds crazy complicated. May I recommend just buying 2
My
of them?
OCD
Just buy
just
2.
like
That's
Yeah.
the easy answer. Just buy 2.
By 2. Right.
I'm
I
so
love that you're
upset.
putting extra decals though. I think that's really accommodating though.
It is.
Yeah.
And
And
can we get a YHS logo on the decal sheet?
you can DIY yourself a YHS logo on the decal sheet. How's that?
I'll make one just for you.
Thank you. This has been awesome, and thank you guys. Like I doing the stuff at Comic-Con and 1027. It's so much fun for us to be able to just be there and be part of this really cool thing. And we love having you guys. Are more than welcome on any time. And
even to not talk about Ghostbusters, if you just want to come on talk about
even if you just want to hang, we love toys.
Hang out, have a drink,
just have some fun. So, well, guys, cool. And then maybe we'll have a part 2 of this either towards the end of the campaign or later. If you guys want to do updates, like come back and we'll talk
Sounds good.
more Ghostbusters.
We're not done. So, we've got what do we have? Like 20 some odd more days for the campaign. We've got a lot of stuff planned. So there'll be more content from me and Emily.
There you go.
Are you
Sure
guys
will.
going to be attending any other Toy Tuber shows in the future?
Yes, but things haven't been formally scheduled yet. So that's on me because I've been off work for the last 2 days. Finally taking a weekend from my 3 weekends in a row of conventions.
Good for you.
I was just like the scotiest bit grumpy.
Heard.
So I will respond to a lot of emails tomorrow. And if anybody else has a podcast or a toy show they'd like to have us on to talk about this, very happy to. Please feel
awesome.
free to send us a note.
I'm retiring.
Yeah. Except for Pat, I guess you can just talk to me then. So I will be willing to talk about, what did I say? Furbies. Oh, I have a full set of mini Barbie Land that I'm sure my PR team would love for me to talk about.
Yes.
Somebody,
It
do we own Barbie? No. Oh.
No. Although I do have a Barbie flannel that I wear around the office sometimes. That is very comfortable. Would recommend.
I think it's a
Love that.
very, very controversial.
Very controversial.
Yeah.
There's a
We're
little
going to
bit
get
of
the
time
Casa
for
Mojo
somebody to
Dojo
submit.
House.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
say again.
We're going to get the, was it the Mojo Dojo Casa House HasLab? Is it-
Yeah.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, Hasbro's going
Love
to
it.
start launching Mattel products as HasLab. Wow, that's going to be crazy.
Contentious.
So, all right. So again, you guys are more than welcome to hang out for a few more. You're also more than welcome to say I'm done. But this has been amazing. I actually don't have any pickups. Well, I have one thing, actually. And Ryan, you have a bunch though. Is that correct?
Oh,
You wanted to show off?
I got way too many. Some of these I can show off. I'm gonna plug my show now.
There you go.
Some of them I can show off tomorrow on Gotham City Tonight. Because they're Batman related. They can wait.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Would you want to marathon some of your pickups right now?
Let's do it. Let's get it done
Okay.
and over with. All right. First off, let's stick with Marvel Legends. One of my favorite lines to collect. This is from Mr. Matt Bush. I got Bloodstorm. This is
Very cool.
right. Storm with vampire powers. I love it. It's my favorite. I also got Silver Surfer. Everyone loves a chrome naked dude riding
That's
the
true.
wave in space. This is the best. Another great.
I mean, that's what it says on the back of the box. Everyone loves a chrome naked dude. So.
Yeah.
Ryan Doll.
Correct.
Ryan Doll.
Let's talk about the best Spider-Man ever, Andrew Garfield.
Stop
Finally got him in my
Get outta
hand.
here.
This is it. Best costume in
Okay.
a in a Spider-Man movie, hands down. Can't even argue that. It's the best one. Can't even argue that. Look at that. That's right. You stay quiet.
I'm not going to argue the costume thing.
Yeah. Next up, I got from the Micro Machine Star Wars Action Fleet Battle Pack number 4.
Ooh.
Wow, those are tiny.
They are tiny. They are.
I bet you
dewback.
could
I want
swallow
Micro
those.
Machines to come back. I want. Right? These are great. These are great. I've been big into Micro Machines. I just found out today that there was the people that made Polly Pocket did ones for the Muppets. Did you
There's
know?
Muppets. There's Muppets.
There's,
Polly Pocket?
there's Muppet Polly Pockets.
Oh, I have to find those.
They're called
That sounds incredible.
Miss Piggy Pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
not-
it's
they're not
a
called
Kermit
that.
head that opens up and you can have Kermit and Piggy go on a date. It's freaking amazing. I picked up this as well, a Biggs to go with my return to Tatooine. This is from the deleted scenes where he's hanging out with Luke on Tatooine. So
I
I'm
love
building that
you guys.
set.
If
There you go.
you're not familiar with Ryan, he will unironically use all of Hasbro's branded marketing terms. In his picture.
I will, and I do. This is how I am trained. I am trained to properly shill. I am ready for. I'm waiting for that day where they're like, Ryan Dole gets to do this exclusive reveal. I've got the terminology down. Every pickup is an audition. Just know that.
Okay.
Also, from the recent Star Wars Entertainment line, The Mandalorian, I got the Blurg and the Mandalorian. All right. I got 2 of these. I already opened one up. This is fantastic. These
That's
are
awesome.
great. These are actually not even going with my Mandalorian set. These are going with my Ewok village,
There you go.
right? Because of the Ewok adventure. That's why I got it. I went to a store in Toronto called Fourth Moon. It is a Star Wars store. They sell nothing but Star Wars stuff, vintage stuff, new stuff, everything from vintage bookmarks and like Dixie cups to TVC and Black Series and all that fun stuff all across the board. I was so overwhelmed, I only left with a Ray figure, and I got ridiculed for it. They're like, all this stuff, and you're leaving with just a Ray, and I was like, yeah, I am just leaving with Ray. I don't have this Ray. Leave me alone.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Absolutely.
Were the Dixie cups sold by the sleeve or by the individual cup?
By the box, so it'd have like the old vintage, like Return
Okay.
of the Jedi artwork on it that would be on the cups. So you get them in. I think they were like
Okay.
$40 to $50 on the box, depending if Leia was in a bikini or not.
Sounds fair.
Sounds totally fair. My favorite of the new shows, and nobody else's, I got stuff from the Acolyte.
Cool.
Right, so I got Osha, I got
Those figures are cool.
Jedi Master Saul,
Cool.
and I also got May. See, I can't remember anyone's names.
It's right there.
It's right
On the
there.
off
And to finish off my my Rebels line, I got Kanan Jarrus as well.
Cool.
I just want to note that Ryan has just showed off 20 Hasbro products from various lines in a row.
Okay, then we're gonna switch it up.
Okay.
I got Micro Galaxy Squadrons, Ahsoka's ship.
That's cool.
Yeah, this is gonna be the next HasLab. I'm confirming it now. It will have lights and sounds to compete with the Starspeeder 3000.
Okay.
Okay.
These are all these claims are Ryan Dole's claims, not of anybody else.
Nobody from Hasbro has made these claims, just me. And you know how far those go. That's why I'm gonna get my slime blower. But this is like way bigger than I thought. And this is like, it is massive. And just to show one more thing off, just for fun, I got one from Matt Bush. I got one from Kyle from Super 7. I got two of these bad boys. The Cyborg Super 7 Series 89 Batmobiles.
That's really cool.
Holy
Cool.
crap.
Cool.
It is very cool. I'm gonna hold it like a boombox. I am gonna do an unboxing
Does
of
the
this
radio
on
work?
Gotham City tonight. The radio does work. It plays the Prince soundtrack.
Of the glove compartment.
And that's where he keeps his spare set of bat keys.
Okay. Cool.
And he also has kids. He has balloons for the kids.
Is it pinless?
Is it pinless? And you know what? It really rolls. But I'm going to do an opening of this on Gotham City tonight. One of these days, probably with Kyle. And I'm going to try to cram in as many 3-inch action figures in this as I can to see which ones fit best. So that everybody knows.
We love Kyle. I talked to Kyle on the phone last night for 45 minutes. Had a great time. I really did.
I believe you.
He had to cut me off. He was like, dude, let's catch up. And it ended with, he was like, hey, dude, I got to go eat dinner. I was like, oh. So,
Okay, and one last, got these at the flea market. I went with Kevin from Toying Around, and I got some more Kanuki Men. So that's Canada Man, which I think is just amazing. Big dude holding a kendo stick. I got Curry Man. He's got curry on his head. Oil Man. He's not really environmentally friendly, but there he is. This dude who looks like a cross between a Ninja Turtle and Godzilla. I should have got 4 of them, rule of 4. And yeah, and then the ring announcer.
I was about to say, is that a ring announcer?
That's what it is. Cool. So those were my pickups. The rest I will show off on Gotham City tonight, tomorrow.
2 weeks ago, Ryan's like, I'm slowing down, guys.
Yeah. Well, I had to, all these orders came in, and then of course, like and then a John Bush shows up, and then a Matt Bush.
Matt Bush.
Well, John Bush is my friend out in Edmonton. I gotta be careful.
The only thing I have, I'll show real quick is I did get something from Matt Bush. He sent me the Horde Trooper Mattel Creations new Eternia. This is I haven't taken it out yet, but it is a very cool deluxe figure. You guys know that I've been once again dabbling in the new Eternia figure, so I'll show that off.
Very
There you
nice.
go.
Cool.
This is another one for those who don't know Craig. This is another one of his yo-yo lines.
Because I'm like, yo, I think I'm gonna collect this again. I call my friends and go, yo, I'm gonna start collecting classifieds again, yo. And then Abby got a couple Matt Bush things too. Maybe we could do you want to show those off real quick?
Sure.
We're rapid firing here.
Yeah. To Matt Bush, thank you for both of these amazing Honeybee Acres little cuties. Let's see, this one is a lemonade stand, and that's got like a little adorable. Her name is Mia. She sells lemonade at the stand. Love it. And this is
Entrepreneur.
Jules. Yeah, with a s'mores and camping trip set, which is awesome. I can't wait to put them in my honeybee family community. So yeah, thank you so much, Matt. I really appreciate it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't have it on me, but I do want to say that I did get Brandon BC DeLorean did send me my Ecto Glow Elite card in the mail. So
It's in your wallet right now.
So I am Ecto Glow Elite officially now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brandon.
Congratulations, Jacob.
Thank you.
Jason,
Thank you, Matt Bush.
I completely blanked on this when Jake was here. I will get everything sorted. That is my bad. All right, guys, we have covered a lot of ground. We're almost at 2 hours. I think there's something else going on in the world that we're all probably going to try not to think about. So what we're all going to think about is HasLabs and Ecto ones and toys. Abigail, do you have any final thoughts?
No, this is just awesome. I've always been inspired by you, Emily, and I've watched you since you joined the G.I. Joe team. So yeah, it's really cool to have you cross over onto the show, and it's been really nice to get to know you as a human being. And Pat, you were like an instant friend. So thank you so much for doing what you do and for being as thorough as you are.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, y'all are awesome. I hope you feel
And
loved and celebrated.
To everybody here, and thanks for nobody in the chat saying the words lightning collection. I thought it was coming. I was like, thought it was coming, and I'm glad that it didn't. Because you know what? I think that's a really thorough line, and there's plenty of it out there to get.
Oh, by the way, Craig and I are collecting it now.
Yo, we started. Ryan and I decided today. He sent me some Power Rangers meme. I was like, dude, we got to get back on lightning.
It wasn't even a meme. It was Power Rangers out of context, and it was just so weird.
It was weird. Yeah. Pat, anything else?
Removable decals, sirens, lights and sounds. We're going to fix a lot of stuff. We know it's a prototype. We see the comments, all the comments. I think that might be it. This has just been delightful. I'm so appreciative. Thank you guys for having us on. They've been letting me talk more a lot for this HasLab campaign than they did with the last one. Which I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse, but it's like a monkey's paw situation. So this has been really good though, and yeah. So
good,
thanks, and you guys are so complimentary. Like this is the greatest ego boost I've had in years. So
that's what we do.
Come on more often.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
but it comes from a real place. Like the Ecto is incredible, and we're super excited about it.
Well, just everything that's come out, I think, from Hasbro, just in general, like the few tidbits we get of Ghostbusters have all been very solid.
Yeah, it's
Like,
been
the figures always looked great. The props always looked great. Like, I don't know. It's been like even the kids line. Those are fun. They're great.
Loved those.
It's fun to have fun with toys. They're all back right back there. Emily, sorry, I know words.
You okay, Craig?
Emily, it's like I'm like just drunk with tired, if that makes sense.
You could just say tired. You don't have to say the drunk with part. You could just say I'm tired.
You can tell there's new guests on the show. Craig's being just like,
I just don't want. Listen, Emily, anything else before we sign off?
I think Pat hit it all, except for as just remind everybody that we don't take any money out of your account until the campaign closes. So if you're waiting to have money in your account, you don't have to technically, because we won't take anything out of your account until 11:59 p.m. Eastern time on December 2nd when the campaign closes. But also, if you send me an email on December 3rd at like 12:01 a.m. saying that you somehow missed the campaign and you're wondering if I can make an exception for you so that you can get your HasLab.
But their son really needs it. It's his birthday.
We're gonna let Jacob reply to those emails.
I swear to God, you'd think that at this point people would understand that the answer is no, but every HasLab campaign, I get somewhere between 3 and 10 of those notes of people being like, "Hey, I missed it. Can you make an exception for me?" No, you had 45 days. So no, I can't.
Yeah. I just missed it. I can't believe it.
Just how I meant to, but I waited until the last minute and then I forgot. So you don't have to wait until the last minute because we won't take any money out of your account until, that's right, 11:59 p.m. Eastern time on December 2nd.
Yeah, and also there's no, like, I know some people are saying, yeah, but it'll still put a hold on your account. That is not I can't speak for every bank in the world, but my debit card, Bank of America, was able to back 2. I would say that it didn't do anything. I don't think
Yeah,
it could if it wanted
Friend
to.
card at all.
Yeah. Jacob, Ryan, anything else?
Gotham City tonight, tomorrow. Myself and Alex Brewer, your guys' competition. We will be hosting, and talking about New York City Comic Con. I've been out for 2 weeks, so it'll be just us two, just talking comics, talking Batman. Hush 2 got announced. There's just a lot. We just need to catch up with everybody. That's
Cool.
it.
That's going to be good. And Jacob?
Yeah, tomorrow night special Godzilla Day edition episode of YHS on Monster Island.
I love it.
There you go.
All right, everybody. Well, we covered a lot of ground. Have a wonderful night. Hope that it is a night full of great snacks and maybe watch a movie. That's what I'm going to do.
No,
wait.
you're not. No,
So
you're not. You're drunk with tired.
I'm drunk with tired.
He's going to be hungover with awakeness tomorrow.
Yes. I'm going to be so awake. You're going to think I was drunk with tired.
Dude, watch The Penguin. If you haven't started watching that, watch that.
I got
That's our
7.
plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Abigail Gardner, Jacob Walsh, Ryan Dole, and of course our special guest Pat and Emily from Hasbro. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful night. Bye. Here comes
Bye.
music.
Bye, y'all.
Music.
Bye.
Ooh,
Get your civic duty and back at HasLab.
there you go.
This is where the fun begins. This is where the fun begins.